Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
Hold on a minute. Don't move anybody. Don't move anybody. There we go. I think we're straight now. Can anybody hear me? Everybody hear me? Anybody hear me? Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Okay, my fault, everybody. When I came on, I did not, unfortunately, did not. I didn't see the mute. Usually, it unmutes when I come off a video. It doesn't make any difference. Let me reiterate what I said. I'll just go back. Here's the deal. I'm good now. Thank you. I'll talk. Here's the deal. I started off the show by saying, one, I wanted to apologize. I was wrong about the midterm elections. And I know I've been very, very gloomy. I don't know why I was so gloomy, but I really thought that the Democrats were going to take a bath in this one. I literally thought they were going to lose both houses. Let's just put it out. I thought they were going to lose the Senate and a major loss in the House. It doesn't turn out it's going to be that way. Disappointed with the loss of Wisconsin. I thought Mandela Barnes had a good chance to win. But here's the deal, though. What I am more inspired by, if you will, if you'll let me be inspired, the thing I was inspired by is that the vote now has an educated understanding. The voter has an educated understanding of this process. Largely, before we would look for Democratic mouthpieces to speak the power, the things that we need, our concerns. And what I've seen, and I'm spending a little bit more time understanding that, is that the new wave is that the voters, particularly in the Democratic Party, the voters have become a lot more vociferous, a lot more louder about the fact that our needs need to be expressed at the polls, and it can't be done through a weak message. We can't vote weak messages. If we're voting weak messages, then we're voting weak representatives of our interests. That being said, I think this is something where we kind of turn the corner. I truly feel like we kind of turned the corner. Like in the 2024 election will look vastly different than this because you have people who are confident about their vote. We could talk about voter suppression. We could talk about intimidation at the polls, election deniers. What happened is there's a referendum on what are we going to do, or what is it we must do to maintain this idea of democracy. So, with that being said, I really, really want to give a shout out to the American people. Democrats, I want to give a shout out to Republicans, people that voted their conscience, not in this state of lunacy. Like I said, the last couple of elections have been circuses for me. It's been a circus. It's like Barnum and Bailey vote. And what happens is, like me, sometimes you can get a little bit dispassionate about the election process because nobody's speaking about what I think is important, and nobody's bothered to investigate. What are your needs? Education. What are your needs? The homeless need place to stay. What are your needs? We need to address the American family. What do you need? We need to address crime. What do you need? We need to talk about education. What do you need? We need to talk about health care. These things and these conversations have been happening, but they haven't been a part of the overall landscape of why we go to the polls. So, for everybody here on the show, let me apologize. And I also want to tell everybody, I'm actually in my father's office in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I laid his ashes to rest. All praises due to Allah. And may Allah be pleased with him. Shout out to him. So we got that done. Headed to Danville, Virginia tomorrow, inshallah, to go see my Aunt Shirley. Please keep her in your prayers. She's been tagged for home hospice. So, these things are always tough when you're dealing with families. And we've all dealt with it at some point in time. So those are the things that are going on. So I gave the apology for the midterms. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a runoff in Georgia between Warnock and Herschel Walker. That really was something that I could see happening. I didn't think Warnock made his point clearly in the debates, and I think he thought that Herschel Walker was going to step into these booby traps. Herschel Walker does talk like one of the lost Cosby kids. He's like, they say I ain't important. They say I ain't smart. I'm like, you're not, Herschel. But my point is, I would never poo-poo on the brother. But I'm like, come on, bro. I only have 2 children. Wait a minute, three. I only have four. I only have four children. They all by one. They not by 2 other women. They all by 2 women. I don't know. Okay. That, brothers and sisters, is the frustration with the electoral process. To me, too many people, particularly out of the African American community, have gone the length to provide the apparatus of the vote to challenge injustice and fight for equality for people who will turn around and not have the fight and use it to oppress us. That's the fact. Use it to oppress us, use it to deny us. We talked about the unhoused yesterday. I didn't talk about the housing warfare against the poor because that's a whole new show. And how do they get to do it? Through the vote, brothers and sisters. We're talking local committees, zoning committees, state legislators, city planning, and we're not even up on that. They use the vote. So, like I said, I'm gonna apologize for disparaging remarks that I made in regards to the election, but it was honest. Okay, so it was honest. I made some honest mistakes. Forgive me. Okay, now let me put this out here for us. These people are crazy. The elections have shown me that people will do extreme things to get elected. I don't even have to tell you, but the campaigns, I don't have to tell you, not just the campaigns. I'm just talking about the political process overall has become a carnival. And it's become an issue whereby extremity, going to extremes for a lot of people thinks it's going to get them elected. Maybe this is a referendum on Trump that the people he chose to run did not fare that well. Maybe he will peter out moving towards 2024. Maybe Ron DeSantis now has the power to bring the GOP, even though it's still the GOP, but bring the GOP back to a point where we're talking about issues and concepts and character. We'll see. All right. So look, I'm going to be right back. And also I want to give a shout out to Sister Satana. She is not on the show today, but it's not her fault. I hit her on WhatsApp and I said, look, sister, you are not doing well. You're going to relax. I made her take a SOS sick day so she can get herself together, inshallah. So make sure you're sending out the watch for Sister Satana, because we want our sister, as much as we love her on the show, we want to make sure that she is healthy. And as I told all of you, watch your health. That sniffle, that cough, that sneeze, it may not just be those things. Make sure you keep your COVID test around. All right, we'll be right back. This is Preacher Moss on the Shout Out Show. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. This is your brother, Preacher Moss. Listen, I have a special announcement. December 17th. That's right. December 17th in Dearborn, Michigan. December 17th. I'm coming through with a special show of evening of comedy, jazz, and laughter, brothers and sisters. It's my special presentation, a gift to the Motor City. It's called, it sounded funny at the time. It's right here. Let me make sure it's spelled right. Yeah. It sounded funny at the time. Produced by my main man, Big Fresh, Freaky. We're going to have an epic evening, and I'm asking everybody to come out. You know how we do, Detroit. I love you. You love me, man. Let's go show some love to one another. It's going to be cold probably on December 17th, but you know what? We're going to make it hot. Make sure it's going to be at the Fordson High Theater. Make sure you get your tickets early, because if you get them late, you're going to be outside. You're going to have to listen to the music and the jokes through the glass. All right, brothers and sisters, you guys have been tremendous. Remember, December, live in Dearborn, Preacher Moss. It sounded funny at the time. Check it out. All right. So listen, just go ahead and get in our shout out section. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sister Ree, how are you doing? Thank you so much for giving me the text and let me know that my sound was off. I didn't notice. This is why we need Satana so much. I didn't notice that when I came back on that the mute button was on. It wasn't the microphone. It was the mute button. So I call it all on me. That's on me. And I will try to do better with you in the future. What's the point in buying a new mic if you don't unmute it, right? So thanks again. Peace and blessings to you, of course, Brother D, and of course, my main man, Jawan. All right. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Altaf always shouting out as well that the sound was not working. I appreciate it. Y'all paying attention. Peace and blessings to you, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, our Canadian envoy to the show, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you again and your family. Much appreciated. Much appreciative. So we're going to bounce down. Thank you so much. And my main man, Eric Carter. What's going on, beloved? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Big E, holding it down in Houston. What ward are you in? 5th ward, 2nd ward, 3rd ward? I know it's one of those, but you keep holding it down. And our brother is back. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Bilal and his queen, Sister Sonia Dalton. Bilal, Sister Sonia Dalton, Salahuddin. There you go. I'm sorry, man. It's been one of those days. But look, I appreciate you coming on the show and chiming in. So the title, like I said, is called These People Are Crazy. Now, I'm going to be honest. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, JT. What's going on, man? Thank you for the text. Appreciate it. Everything went well today with Pops, and I'm just tired, man. I've been grinding. I think I haven't actually got over the UK trip yet. That jet lag is still around. So I put out these people are crazy. What I'm talking about is this election. I saw some of the weirdest stuff for an electoral process. It was gimmicks, it was TikTok, it was anything and everything away from issues. The whole idea of traditional campaigning now is built upon the fact that you must have an extreme position, or you must be able to defend yourself against an extreme position. It seems like the two likelihoods can't coexist in terms of overall service to the public. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but this was one of the most, and I'm going to say this, you can agree or not agree. This was one of the most intrusive elections that I remember ever. I mean, my phone, brothers and sisters, I couldn't get my regular phone messages because I was getting people who were robocalling me or robo-texting me. Hey, do I make sure you get to the polls? Hey, preach, Biden is destroying America, and if we get in, we're going to impeach him. I'm like, first of all, how'd you get my number? First of all, how'd you get my number? And second of all, why do you think I would talk to somebody who I don't know? That you would just send out random texts. This is the lunacy of this electoral process. And it should bear fruit. What I'm saying should bear fruit because we're still having an election literally 2 years later, and we still don't have any decisive information about Trump and the January 6th insurrection. We still are investigating insurrection, and the perpetrators are still running around making speeches, raising money, and I feel like the vote is sacred. Yeah, I feel like the vote is sacred. Here's the thing that bothers me: that these people look to their constituents, and then they look through their constituents. The idea that I haven't heard from you, and this is a personal thing. This is not even politics. The idea of people sometimes in your life you haven't heard from in a while. When they come to you, number one, with dire need, number two, with a sense of urgency, and number three, with no ideology or respect that I don't know you. I haven't seen you. You expect from me through emotion and empathy to pick up what it is that you're peddling so I can make your life easy, so I can give you what you want. Now, and this is, and I'm going to say this election was extremely selfish. It was extremely selfish. And when I say selfish, this is what I mean. In life, you may have different opinions, but if you're trying to work towards a common good, say we're all trying to serve the people, say we're trying to build better schools. We may have different ideas of how we build better schools, but we have an understanding that teachers are a part of it. Now, if your goal is to say, well, teachers need to be regulated, blah, 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 and I say teachers need to be paid more, okay, there's a little bit of truth in both of those. But I'm not going to automatically disqualify what you said. In politics, this whole idea, and here's the word again, against a whole idea of canceling another candidate as absolutely in totality no good, no ideas, is foolish. They wouldn't get to that point. And so, when we have people get elected, these are platforms that somehow cannot evolve to include good things from another person's platform. When I deal with folks and I may have a disagreement, we may have a discussion, one of the best things is to be able to say, I don't know everything. And not knowing everything allows me, and maybe allows you, it allows me to be a lot more understanding and introspective about what people are trying to tell me. Understanding that have different experiences, they have different points of view, they have different emotions. And that is the part of the fabric that makes America great. Not great again, America great. It is the fine line, I want to say the thread that holds this quilt together called diversity. And this election, while it did have a lot of stuff about diversity, you had a Generation Z person get elected, first openly lesbian person get elected as a governor of Massachusetts. You had a transgender get in office. I think it was Vermont. You had a lot of stuff. But my point is, When are we going to get to the politics of the people, not the politics of position? I have a position that I'm running on. You should be running on what the people are telling you, even if it's not part of my campaign. If I find that it has good in it, then I'm obligated as an intellectual, as a thinker, as a critical thinker to say that is something that we can use, not because I won't use it because he came up with it first. That's foolish. And when I say foolish, I do mean it's because a lot of folks just don't understand. I'm going to show you a campaign, brothers and sisters, that was out there. Okay, this is a person running for a seat in Utah. Now, I want you to watch it because I want you to say, well, damn, would I really vote for that person? But this is the type of see me, hear me, vote for me disease that has been pervasive in our community for the last 4 years. And I'm going to come back on this, but I just want you to watch. Okay? Stay tuned.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption with integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. But in schools, they're pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify this, because there's some who can't define this as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
Hey, babies, welcome to Radio WCUC, Convenient Urgent Care, home of the smart patient. This is DJ What It Do. You know what time it is. It's the top of the hour, and the request lines are open. You know what you want to hear. I know what you want to hear. Operators are waiting.
I just got to hear Don't Get the COVID.
Don't get the COVID, put your mask back on. The Delta COVID, more contagious than before. Don't get the COVID, go on and get the vaccine. You know that it can keep you safe, and your people living up in your space. Don't get the COVID, you need to wash your hands. The Delta COVID is more deadly than before. Don't get the COVID, go on and get your vaccine. You know that it can keep you from dying. Don't leave your family all alone and crying. Don't get the COVID.
We invite you to join our fight against COVID and against misinformation. It's time to listen to the doctors and trust the science.
When I think of people dying that don't have to die, it makes me sad. Now is the time to be sober. Together we can make this thing over. Let's fight the COVID. Convenient urgent care, home of the smart patient.
All right, everybody, we're back. Sorry about the light. The light's changing here in Albuquerque with the time difference. It's like going on 4:30 here, so I haven't been able to figure it out. All right, listen, a couple notes. I am hoping to, in our private little group, the Shout Out Show family, I'm hoping to get some approval so that I can show you guys the first cut, the sizzle reel for my documentary, tentatively titled Halal and Hilarious. It does go over some themes about being a Muslim comedian, but it also gives you a little bit of a life spectrum on what I've been doing as a comic, activist, teacher, educator, family guy, Muslim human being, all those good things. But I'm hoping I can get that cleared and you can watch it sometime next week. That's number one. Number two, I want to give a shout out to Rufus and Jenny, who will be doing their marriage boot camp, surviving marriage boot camp in the city of Houston. They'll be at the Spanish Islamic Center. I think it's down in Stafford, but I'll get the information. I'll put it up here because I didn't have enough time. But I did talk to Ruth. Make sure you go out there. I'm going to get you the information. Please register if you're in Houston. It's a great seminar. It's funny, it's lively, it's relevant, and it's engaging. We've had them on the show before, and they were delightful. So I'm telling everybody, you want to make sure you can check them out live, okay? The last thing, and this is really, really important. I am going to be moving away from some of the harder hitting stuff. I know we talk about a lot of things here on the Shout Out Show. We're just under 700 shows. And I feel like sometimes the gravity of some of the things we talk about it could be a little dark. So we're going to go back to theme days, and I'm hoping, inshallah, we're going to bring back Throwback Thursdays and have a section. We can just have some fun talking, maybe we'll do our own polls, bringing you on the show, giving you some links to come on the show. Tell us what you think. Maybe we'll have a show where just everybody's on the show. How about that? Because I think it's fun to bring out the people that support you. I've done that over the years. I think this is a prime time to do it now. The format of the show will stay the same, but I think we're going to move away, and we're going to probably talk about things that are more about how we improve ourselves. I don't want to get into a situation where we're constantly bludgeoning ourselves with things that are going on in the news. That's why it's called the news. The Shout Out Show is a relationship show. So I think on behalf of myself and, of course, it's Satan and a lot of other people, it's like, listen, we do well having relationship conversations with our brothers and sisters. And that's what we're going to do. The news, the politics, it's going to be out there. If it's something major, yeah, we're probably going to talk about it. But if it's not major, I think we're going to let it go. I think we're going to have fun. I'm going to have more comedians just to come, maybe even do 10, 15-minute spots, not 15 minutes, but 10 minutes of material, interview them. I had a great tour over in the UK, and I'll have to say, following the passing of my father was great. And I am also living in a space where I'm very, very appreciative. I have a deep appreciation for my father. And that deep appreciation really follows out to the fact that we have to enjoy ourselves more. That life is going to be what it is. We don't live in individual islands. We deal with life contagion. People get sick, we get sick. People are sad, sometimes we become sad. There's a war, we hear the guns. All these things are happening, brothers and sisters. But for this platform, for this 30 minutes a day, we do Monday through Thursday, I think we need to get into a point where we do some self-care here on the Shout Out Show. And we talk about things that make us better. So that's all I had to say about that. Okay? So let me get to this wrap up, last minute wrap up. That video that I showed you was not only strange, it was bizarre. But somehow, some way, a campaign person told this lady, this ad would be effective. It was shot on the phone. It wasn't even, landscape. And this lady, I don't know who came up with that song, but if her politics are anything like her rap, Utah is in trouble. But even saying that, sorry about that. But even saying that, my thing is I can respect that the lady ran and that she wanted to do something that was positive for her. So it's not necessarily about preaching Moss or anything like that, but it was positive for her. So listen, I am going to see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Might be a little bit late. It might be a little bit depending on how my flight lands. I don't know. Allah knows best, right? But I will see you from the state of Virginia or the state of North Carolina, one of the two. Until that time, stay blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Feel better, Satana? I'm out.